Alright, welcome back to the shop. In this video we're going to be getting all the body panels ready for paint. I am not going to bore you with doing the block sanding, but I will just show you a couple things. One, I've made these stands a little bit of an overkill, but this gives me a really stable surface, so when I'm block sanding on this, they're not moving around. So also it gets it up in the air, which is good for me, so I don't have to bend over. I spray these, well, first I do the metal bumping, and then I spray them with SPI's black epoxy primer. And I get 3 coats on that, and then I come back and do their higher build primer. This is a primer for block sanding on. And then I come and you can see this dry guide coat. I put that over it and come and block that off. And what that leaves is these little spots here. You can see these. And so those are low areas that I missed or couldn't quite bring up when I was doing the bumping. So I will go and put some filler on these and block this down. I've already done this side. You see a bunch of these black spots, but that's really where I have sanded through the sanding primer. You can see I did this area here. There's one in the front, a couple down here, and then on the sides, these are not this a dent, but not really here. It's more the way this was formed. It's a little, concave there, and I know that when I go to color sand that, it's going to make it difficult because I'm going to have an edge here. So I've made sure that this is a little bit convex all the way down, and that will help me when doing the color sanding. This one is ready for the primer, and then we'll block that one more time hopefully, and it will be fine. If not, we'll do it again. So we'll shoot primer on this, knock it down smooth, put the guide coat on, take that down, and if all of the guide coat comes off without leaving areas, then we're good. This one's going to need filler, and then it will be ready for paint. So that's the process, and then I'll bring you back if there's anything interesting, I think, or when we get ready to set the paint booth up and paint everything. All right, just checking in. So I've done the first pass on block sanding. And I've gone and shot these with another coat of epoxy as a sealer. A couple places that I sanded through back down to the metal, so it's always best to seal it again. So now I'm going to go and shoot probably 3 coats of the 2K primer on it and block sand again. And I think for sure this back fender is done. I think this one's probably done, and we'll see how the other 2 come out. Okay, another update. Getting closer and closer. Got the, this is the hood, 4 panels for the hood. It's joined right here by a chrome strip that runs down the middle. This one had a pretty big dent right here. Some strange waviness sort of down the middle. That's probably there from the way it was made. Probably how, when they rolled this in, the machine probably had some points that created that. It wasn't very much, and it was easy to fill in. Again, so down this edge, as it comes over the top, it's concave a little bit. It sort of goes in. So if you were trying to color sand that, you're going to hit this edge. So I've got these brought in to where it's a little bit convex. Not a lot, or maybe straight. It's just not concave. This guy had multiple issues. I had to weld in. There was some splits in here. I think this is where the handle is. Maybe a lot of movement here. So there was some little splits in this area. Those had to be welded. And there was some dents in this area. I think maybe it looked like maybe when the handle was turned this way, it was pushed in. Similar area here. This area was smooth, but it had sort of a big low spot right here. If you sanded on this area, it left an area about that big. This area had a really bad, like a crease along here. I was able to do the metal bumping to get that out pretty much all the way, but it wasn't perfect, so I had to fill in this area a little bit. It's turned out really good. Of course, this is matte finish, so you can't tell for sure. We'll get the guide coat on it and come down. But before I went and put this second coat, the 2K primer on it, it looked pretty good. Another little area here looked like the handle damage. This other panel on this side of the hood was pretty much the one or two little minor areas. And again, this area down the side, make sure it wasn't concave. All right, so you're missing just a bunch of fun on this. You just can't imagine how much fun this is. I've actually got blisters on my fingers from that block. But we're getting close. I think these, one more pass on this. I think that's done. I think when I put the guide coat on those two hood panels, those will be done. This last fender over here had an issue. So this guy was, it looked like something hit it. Like maybe it was this way, and it was dented in pretty bad. I did the metal work to get it out, but I didn't do it that well. I mean, it was close, but this little detail where they ran the bead roller up through here wasn't sharp in the metal. And so I went ahead and did one more pass to get this area a little bit sharper. We'll see how that turns out when we get the guide coat on there and find out, make sure that that's really even at the top. And it's an interesting little bead because right down here it's really sharp and up here it's sharp, but as it goes in the middle it's not quite as sharp and it's a little flat, and it sort of does the same thing here. You can see it does that on this side. This side wasn't damaged at all, so it kind of flattens out in the middle and it's back sharp at the top. All right, I'll bring you back a little bit later. Okay, got everything cleaned out, swept up, blown out a little bit, ran the fan a little bit to get stuff out. I did make one change to the fan. There was way too much air, too much velocity. So I put a bigger pulley on here. We got 10 inches here, a little bit smaller pulley there. And that slows this down, and I hope that'll be good. So I got new filters. We'll go ahead and put all the panels up. I'm going to try to stick the camera in the corner so you can see how these panels go up, and then we'll be ready to paint. All right, so here's what we got going on. These panels are corrugated plastic. It's like cardboard, but it's plastic. And then I ripped a bunch of white wood to make the frames. And you can see I built this frame here to where it has a filter in it, and then that frame there where it has a filter in it, and then those two go across the front of the fan there. And then that fan, you pick it up and sit it in the shroud. So all of these have little holes in the top, you see there, and then you look up on the top of these little panels that come down. They have the holes that match, and they just bolt in. So these panels on the top are temporary. They're just they basically, it's a 9-foot ceiling, so that's a foot tall, and then these are 8-foot panels, and so that allows me to put those up there. And then when I'm done painting, like really done painting, then I'll go ahead and take these panels down. All right, so that's it. And now we'll just set them up. All right, so that's it. We got the door over here on this side. Just opens here. You come in. A little bit of overlap here that keep it closed. So this is what you call a positive flow booth. So the air comes in here and it pushes everything out. And then that way they open the door here and it goes out that way. And then we've got flaps here on the side. And they're self-deploying. You just open this, and then when the wind comes through here, it holds that in place. And you got one on this side too. Alright, so you can see that. Again, when the fan comes on, it does blow out this way. We put, got plastic put on the floor I taped this up here, then I've got a hole down at the bottom where the hose comes in. So that's it. It doesn't take much to set up. It didn't cost that much. I think I paid, well, one more thing on the outside. So all these panels are bolted up at the top, a little 1/4-20 bolt that goes through, and then I got a wing nut on it. And then each panel midway through is connected together. So like down in that corner, you see a gap, I've got to go and put those in. And then down at the bottom, I've got a 2x4 that goes down at the bottom with some weights on it to keep that from blowing out. Because the fan puts out a lot of air, so it's a lot of pressure. So it'll push those walls out with no problem. And that's sort of the neat thing, is it holds the door closed. So I don't really have to worry about that. And again, the flaps are self-deploying. And then when the door comes up, it meets that little wall that comes down. So as the door, you can see the top of that door will come out this way and meet it right there at the top. So that's it. It's not real big, but it gives you clean air, a lot of ventilation. So it works pretty good. Okay, so we're outside the booth. One thing I realized is you really couldn't see a lot of how this fits together on the inside. So you can see on the outside, we've got these frames, and then we've got the white corrugated plastic cardboard on it. And then you can see these things that make up the foot up to the ceiling. So you got basically these are all 8x4 panels down the side, and then a little bit mismatched in the middle to make room for the filter. You go down here and see I needed to add these little boards on the side because the pressure will push push these panels out. And here's our door, and then you can see into the booth. So we got the fan on, nice and quiet, moving a good bit of air, but not at a high velocity, which is exactly what I wanted. You can kind of get an idea if you open this door to see what kind of force it has. It'll pop that thing right back closed. So you got good air movement, lots of air moving, but not at a high velocity. So I've done one pass, well actually 2 passes of the water-based wax and grease remover, and then before I shoot the base, I'll come back and do the solvent-based. So that's it for right now. I'm letting this run a little bit just to air it out. I drop this back down, do the solvent, and then we'll be ready to shoot. Okay, things have been going pretty good. Now ready to shoot the outside of all the panels. All the panels have had the underside or inside back painted. So they've had the 2 coats of base and then 3 coats of clear coat. Not really looking for show quality on the inside, but you know, I did want it to at least be similar to the outside. So all of these are now ready. They've been final sanded, and right now we're going to do a sealer coat, which is the 2-part epoxy with 15% reduced with urethane reducer. So that'll give us a sealer on it, and then we'll let that sit for 2 hours, and then do the base coat, and we'll let that sit overnight, and then tomorrow we'll do clear. Probably going to do 6 coats, about 30 minutes at a time. And I hope after that to actually move these out and get the other panels in and get them prepped. And if I get lucky, have enough time, I'll be able to get it sealed with the base coat on, and then I can finish up the clear on the next day. I'm going to try to put the camera there in the corner and see if it will capture whatever footage it gets. I'm not sure if it's really going to be any help whatsoever, but I'll put it over there, and then I'll take a look at it and see if it's really worth having. I thought about trying to do like a head mount or have it on my chest, and but there's just not a lot of room in here, and I really don't want to complicate this process anymore. I'm not the gunman. I'm not that a natural in the paint booth, so the less I have going on, probably the better. So we'll put it in the corner and see if we get something. If not, well, that'll just have to be the way it is. Alright, so the base is on. I haven't seen the video that I shot, but I'm guessing it was pretty much useless. I am going to try, maybe not on this one, but on the next one, next batch, to put the camera on my head, a head mount, or maybe a chest mount, and see if that works. It's a small booth and there's a lot going on, and it's not like this is my day job and I do this for a living, so pretty happy with it. There's this dent right there. I didn't really miss that. I knew it was there, but that's where the side light goes on, so I'm not worried about that one. There is one I did miss, so disappointed in that. It is right in here somewhere. And saw it a while ago. Somewhere in here. But other than that, I'm really happy with it. I've got a little piece of trash right there, so not happy with that. Oh, there's a little dent right there, like a real pinpoint right there. I'm not sure how I missed that. That should have been easy to catch. All right. So I'm going to let this continue drying. Give it the whole, I mean, it's dry now, but get all the solvents and everything to come out. And then I will do the clear coat tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so I haven't been able to get any more footage of actually spraying paint. Sorry about that. There's just not enough room in here. This is 10 by 16, which seemed great size when I designed it, but it's just not enough room. I got too much stuff going on. I have to actually move like these things out of the way to get from one side. So, you know, this is not enough room from here to here. So I have to move that over. I have to move it that way to keep from backing into it as I paint these. So there's a lot going on, and having the camera going is just too much for me. So, all right, we got the gas tank that needs sealed. So this will get 2 coats since it's bare metal, 2 on these. This guy's already sealed and ready for base, so he'll get base, spare tire carrier base. You got the headlamp mounts, license tag holder that goes on the spare tire rack, the gas tank straps. That's the actual tag holder, and then that's the light that goes above the license tag. Those are the side mounts to the gas tank, and they're chrome. I got the edges masked off, roughed that up, seal those. These will be black, so 2 coats, flip it over, 2 coats. I'll do the same thing here. The back of this is toolbox cover. It will be black. The top will be base and clear. All right, so we'll get that going, and that'll be it. So we've already, everything else is done. All the fenders, the hood, that's all done. Just these guys left. And just like magic, it's done. So everything got 2 coats, obviously, other than the ones that are already sealed. The tank covers, all the miscellaneous stuff is ready. These guys, I just shot them last, so those 2 will come out. It came out good. This guy's a bunch of fun to shoot, so tippy toes to get to the top, and then I do the limbo to go up underneath there to shoot it. So that's a lot of fun. And it's the most inconvenient part of this is the part that I really care about, of course, is this part. If I had some mistakes on the bottom, it wouldn't be a big deal because you'd never see it. So it kind of stinks, but there's really no way to to hold it from the other side. But it's all right. So I'm out of time for the day, so I'll have to do the base tomorrow, which unfortunately means I sort of waste the whole day tomorrow because I need to let the base sit before I go and do the clear. So I'll do base tomorrow, wait a day, and then do clear. All right, so here's where we stand. Everything has been painted, and I'm going through now doing the wet sanding and then the cut and buff. So this one's at 3,000 now. I've got a couple of pieces finished. I'm going to go ahead and buff this, let you see what it looks like, and then that's going to be the end of this chapter or part. So we've already had a couple of casualties. Gas tank had to rub through the little side panels to the gas tank with the chrome, where I'd take those off. A little bit of it peeled off, so that's going to have to be redone. And then one of the straps to the gas tank, I just didn't get the base in one area. It was curved under at the bottom, didn't see it, just didn't get it all the way on. So those will need to be redone, but that's not a big deal. I planned on having a couple of mistakes, so hopefully we can just keep that to those. So we'll see how this one busts out, make sure it's okay, and then move on to the others. So I'll pick this back up and show you what it looks like, and then that'll conclude. Okay, so we're not done yet, but I thought I would pop in and show you what it looks like after I do the cut. And what I'm looking for in the cut is just to go over everything through here and try to see an area that you can tell if there's haze somewhere. It looks like a sort of a fog. So you can go through slow, just look at it and look for a haze in it. All right, so that's sort of what I'm looking for. I'm going to go back and buff it, and then that'll wrap it up. Okay, so now we're done. When I mean done for right now. When I put the car together, I'll go and do a final buff on it. All right, so I'll try to get the rest of this done a little bit quicker and get some videos out to you guys. I know it's really a long time between parts. That's just not my full-time job, barely even a part-time job with the house and everything going on. But we're getting close to the end, so hopefully it'll go a little bit faster. All right, hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.